Ladies and gents, I heard you like unique games. So that's what I'm going to provide you right here. A 1v1 on Arabia might not seem too unique, but trust me, stick around. This one gets crazy. In the red, we have MBL, pro player from Norway. I'd say top 5 when it comes to Arabia. Definitely top 10 right now. Jury's out a little bit on how people expect him to perform in Hidden Cup 4. Anyways, incredible players. Been around for a long time. And then you've got Magical here. Now, excuse me if I mispronounce. I'm going to call him Magical. Apparently from Slovakia. There might be a different way to say it. But the reason I'm excited to just bring up this player, who is only 1900 rated compared to MBL's 2500, so there's a big gap here, is I believe this is a player that's in one of my first YouTube videos. Way back when I started casting, I didn't really know what to cast. I didn't know that you could do some live games back then. And so basically I went to aoczone.net. Wait, .com. I forget. Anyways, the name, it's now AoE Zone, but whatever it was called back then, I just went to that website and asked people, like, hey, how do I do this? You know, I was a complete noob. And I was just downloading recorded games from that website. And at the time, there was a tournament called WSVG, which I think ended up being a complete, like, PG YouTube content, but we'll say crap show. And there was a lot of drama behind the scenes with a bunch of different esports with that. But anywho, it was qualifier for that event, and I knew that Viper was good. I didn't know much else about the game, except I wanted to cast, so I just started downloading Viper games. And Viper basically flexed on this poor dude with a micro move. And I remember seeing that the video had crossed 1,000 views, which was so weird for my videos. Normally, I'd only get like 12. And it was a big deal. I was like, what, 1,000 views? Oh my God, I got chills and everything. I remember this like it was yesterday. And it was because someone had shared that video on, I think, AoE Zone and also our very small subreddit at the time. So I don't think most of you watching were actually around back then. You could probably hunt it down if you were to look for it. Maybe I'll put it in the description. It's very embarrassing, to be honest. The commentary sucked. But I recognize this name, and a lot of people have been coming back to the game recently. Players who've been around 5, 10, 15 years, so he must be one of them, which is pretty cool. Anyways, MBL's playing as Aztecs here, and you guys have probably seen the title and seen the thumbnail, so this is going to turn into something special. But like all games, the lead-up is very important, right? You can't just like pick out one moment 30 minutes in and somehow have an explanation for that. There's always a build-up, and there's reasons for everything. So you've got Magical here. Magical is going to go for what looks like a Drush. 4 on wood. Barracks is coming out. Drush stands for Dark Age Rush. I believe that's what's going to be the case. Whereas you've got MBL over here. MBL has built the mill. And funnily enough, back in 2015, the meta, if you're going to Drush, was actually mill first, then add the barracks. Nowadays, for Drushes, as this boar is not there we go. MBL's got it somehow. But yeah, nowadays, if people are going to make militia and stay in Dark Age, they tend to make the barracks before the mill. So the meta's changed there. And Magical seems to understand that. Watch it be someone else and not the same player. It'd be kind of funny. You know, things stick with you, man. I actually remember someone saying, as hopefully MBL's building a house, and he is, that I was mispronouncing this person's name back in 2015 on the video I mentioned. And that stuck with me. So I clarified at the start of this video that I might be saying it wrong. Isn't that crazy? 2015. It ended up hitting like 2,000 views. And I still remember that one comment, like, actually, based on where he's from, you know, it needs to be pronounced like this. And that's a tough thing for me, man. It's, you know, English is my native language, and this is a very diverse community, so it has not been my strong suit over the years. Anyway, so the Drush is coming forward, and honestly, this is pretty weak from MBL, right? You look at his point of view. That's not his point of view, excuse me, but you should really never get surprised by a Drush like this at a high level. My guess is a bit of overconfidence from MBL, as he probably felt like, you know, I'm going to be fine here. I'm much higher rated than this guy. And so that barracks is denied at 60. Wow, are you kidding me? If you round up at 69%. So that's a little worrying. If you're going Feudal Age, what you probably want to do is is you're going to want to have militia on the way so you can go for man-at-arms. You're going to need that barracks up if you want to unlock the ability to make an archery range. There's a lot of things that you need to do. And so for MBL, I mean, even just being delayed there is a little hurtful, and he's going to make the barracks now. I think that changes his game plan, though. Like, if he was going to make 3 militia and go for man-at-arms, now, by the time the barracks is up, it's used a quick wall. Sneaky move to get over here, I will say. But yeah, anyways, at that point, like, the enemies are probably going to be walling a little bit. So I just don't feel that that's going to be hugely successful for him. And I think instead, and he's already planning on it with a lot on wood, he's going to have to start off with archers. Now, over here, you look at Magical's build. It looks like he's going to try and go feudal age. There is a worry for the next couple minutes. So for the next 2 minutes, MBL's got the time. It does take time to mass archers. But still, you know, MBL is going to have the time to get a few archers out before the militia and scout can really do anything about it. So I think in terms of economic harassment, it has not been so good for blue. You could have maybe got to the berries or got to the wood line. Now you have MBL transferring to the back golds. So he's got to look to do some damage there. And MBL seems pretty comfortable just thinking like, okay, you can attack me. No, you can't attack me. Yes, you can. You know, running back and forth. And he's just going to track this for now. I also noticed he's gone for a greedy approach. Greedy approach getting even the horse collar upgrade, which is actually really uncommon when you're just going straight archers. It's very hard to afford archers and your wood and your farm upgrade and the farms and the range and the blacksmith, all those things. But I think it's, again, MBL confidence, realizing the situation, and okay, well, he's going to pull a few villagers over here to finish the house. He's got the archer there. And on the bright side for blue, like, MBL's archers had to stay at home. Overall, I don't know how rusty this player is, but he's looking pretty good. Look at his economy back home, and he could probably open up with a range here himself. Maybe go for the man-at-arms upgrade. And then being Slavs, the farmers are working insanely fast, too, so that food income's going to be there. There's horse collar, and there's double bit axe. They're not getting the upgrade for now. And now trying to kill MBL's eagle. And yeah, just micring away. I don't know if the man-at-arm upgrade's really worth it here. It's pretty expensive. There's the range. There's the blacksmith. Probably just a few skirmishers and archers of his own. And close game. Like, based on what we've seen so far, I don't think there's really been anything, except for maybe the 40 seconds of idle TC time, that would really tell you that blue is 1900. And for what it's worth, I don't have the exact statistics on hand, but I think being 1900 puts you, I think it's like top 300 in the world. And that's not even counting the fact that of the top players, there's a lot of people with 2 different accounts in the top 300. In an MVL's case, he's got like 4. I personally have 2. So, and I'm just a caster, man. So anyways, 1900 is definitely not a bad elo to be at. The militia finally go down. I think they definitely paid off. They delayed the barracks and delayed MBL, and also the scouts on full HP, and here comes some skirmishers. Now, do you remember the greedy approach that I talked about with MBL? Well, he took the greedy approach, and it's starting to pay off with his resources. There's also something really fascinating about this. I feel like a 1900 player tends to overinvest to deal with very little in these situations quite frequently, and this has actually been something that I've been trying to be attentive of in my own games. Like right now, he's going double range, and he has fletching, and MBL, he doesn't have fletching. He sent 2 archers forward with a spearman and an eagle, and that's it. See what I mean? Like, he's just gonna scare the enemy into doing an awful lot, and in particular, making a lot of skirms, which doesn't terrify him too much. And then he's probably just going to go up towards Castle Age, and it is something that the top player is able to do really well. Big thing for me is I get armor a lot in situations where I might not need armor, and that 100 food that you would spend on archer armor can sometimes delay your Castle Age by a minute, and that can swing a game. So, anyways, in this case, I mean, MVL doesn't even seem bothered by this, and in Magical's position, you've just got to make more archers here, right? Make more archers. Make sure you pressure MBL and try and get some villager kills, and MBL is just not making an awful lot, so it should really tell him could be clicking up to the next age. Is MBL forgetting something? Is he? Okay, no, he has his buildings. He just must have clicked up a little late. And here he goes. Now he's actually housed, so this is MBL confirmed in Hidden Cup main event. He gets pop capped a lot, and now you can see him adding houses. Like, look at these houses. These are MBL houses. he will just build them. Like, a lot of other people think ahead, add them behind walls. Not saying he doesn't do that. But these two houses clearly happened when he got pop capped at one point. It's just MBL things. He tends to get pop capped, make a few houses, then get pop capped again, make a few houses. It's been part of his game ever since I've known him. Yeah, he's not mixing in any eagles. He does actually have that archery range there. And if I were blue, I'd be very confused. Because you don't really see the range. Again, that's normally on the front. Probably thinking, wait, what? Anyways, there he goes up to Castle Age. And I don't think this is a bad time. It's not the best time, but just past 20 minutes is an insane time, if you ask me. Just that MBL, different class. I think there's a hole there. Oh, never mind. There's not a hole there. So MBL's thinking, let's get ahead. With the lead, you can do an awful lot. You can boom. Maybe you can flex a little bit, which we might see in this game. Again, everything's important to describe what happens later on. Or just to show you. Trust me, context will be pretty interesting here. But this is not the worst fight to take in the world. And I say that for blue. You don't want to lose your archers, of course. But MBL lost some archers too. And also, it's not like MBL is going to be able to use skirmishers to raid you too much. Plus, your slabs, and you're going to have food income, so you could probably add a stable to make some knights. The micro seems pretty good and pretty uninspiring for MBL so far, if we're being honest. He moved out before getting Castle Age upgrades on these units. And again, it's just like, he's just not investing too much offensively. But anyways, MBL is in the Castle Age now. We'll see what he does with that. And he's going boom, boom, boom. Triple monastery. Triple monastery. All right, so let's go back. Let's look at Blue's base, and let's see what he's going to plan on doing here. He's playing pretty open. So he's obviously going to go for crossbowman, right? Crossbowman in Bodcanera sounds like a good idea, especially since MBL doesn't have that many skirms. If he makes some knights, what he could do is he could counter any skirms that are out there. So that's got to be in the back of his mind. But what he doesn't know is that MBL is going to go for some crazy monk numbers here. Something that Aztecs are known for, but not something that Aztecs are known for doing against archers. It's just not really a thing. You do it against knights, might do it against siege. Anyways, the thing about Aztec monks is they get plus 5 HP per monk technology. Sanctity gives monks extra HP, so it's additional plus 5 on top of that. Plus he's getting fervor for monk speed. And so MBL, like, people can look at it two different ways. You could look at it as him flexing, or you could look at it as him giving the enemy a chance, or both. Personally, I say both. It's not as if MBL's BMing here, right? He's going for a strat that can legit be strong, but at the same time, it's not necessarily the play against what Blue's doing. And so it's like, now he's going to add TCs and boom up a little bit. It basically evens it out. And you have a second TC here for Blue. Economically, pretty close game. Again, it's not like Blue is not a top couple hundred player in the world. He's going to add 3 TCs now, and he's got to be so confused by this. He's probably thinking that he just needs to defend from an all-in. Look at that, 4 monasteries. You probably think, okay, it's going to be YOLO from MBL. If I defend and hold, I win. In reality, I mean, MBL's kind of doing a mix of everything here. He's got a lot on gold right now, but he's actually going to be able to boom somehow. And the thing about MBL, which makes him unique when it comes to other pro players, this is probably the most unique thing about him, is he uses a mouse that has 12 hotkeys on the side. I actually have the same mouse, but he uses those hotkeys for his monks. I can't do that. I've tried. I don't have the mouse precision. I'm not gentle enough with the mouse. And I misclick, but look at this. Look at how he's able to target. So he basically clicks each button and then right clicks to click the crossbows. And here he goes. I mean, the monks are getting conversions, and of course, after he gets conversions, the crossbowmen are going to fight for him. Is this good enough, though? The monks are a very expensive unit. It's 100 gold apiece. It feels like Blue's going to be okay with that, especially considering booming at home. And MBL, perhaps not the most impressive bit, so he says, okay, let's just make more monasteries. This is stupid. This is stupid. He's making more monasteries. 4 monasteries didn't cut it. So now he's got to go for 6. Okay, MBL. So many villagers on gold, too. But okay, there's the Siege Workshop for blue, so it's going to go up, or it might go up anyways. Meal's got a lot of monks out there. Here he goes for conversions. Again, he's got to click them all. And this is a high-pressure situation. If you click the same crossbow with same monks, then bad things end up happening. You don't get conversions. And right now, I mean, it looks like blue's going to win this game. Again, context is important here. MBL gone for a bit of a trolley strategy. There's a point where I think players start to realize, oh shoot, I'm actually going to lose this. And what you can see is basically they take the easy way out. And they're like, okay, I've played in tournaments. Time to make a switch. Let's play normal now, right? Like go Eagles or something. Yeah, MBL's not going to do that. It's a ranked game. Wants to have a good time here. Remember, the main thing about playing video games is it's supposed to be fun. I know many of us are addicted, so we forget that sometimes. But anyways, there's six monks now. Okay, there we go. There's a conversion. 35 on gold. And here comes a ram. And MBL's not going to be too pleased about this. MBL has to save the monks. Currently, MBL has 7 monasteries. I heard that's the number. I heard God likes that number, so... Look at this! Oh my god. There's no... MBL has no business being in this game. This is so expensive. And Blue's doing a good job. Blue's mixing in scouts to counter, right? He's going to go light cav, I suppose. The ramming down to the range makes a lot of sense. The KD's looking amazing. You don't even need to go all in. I wouldn't even consider this all in if you're in Blue's perspective. I mean, he probably needs to realize that auto reseed is a thing in 2021. Again, I believe he's getting used to DE, having played Classic. Yeah, getting eco upgrades and whatnot. Everything's looking good. And now look at this. This is kind of the moment that I was leading up towards with my explanation earlier. I don't think there's a single player in the game who can do that with monks, except for MBL. Because he's the only one who has a mouse with the hotkeys on the side and actually uses them. And now, MBL has 9 crossbowmen here. That's crazy. So now he could use the crossbowman to micro down whatever he sees that could worry him. He can't take care of the ram. He could actually convert the ram because he did get redemption, which means you can convert siege, but you need to be up against the ram to convert it. Unlike a Maganel, you can convert from distance. So 70 villagers for MBL, 77 for Blue, and Blue maybe just had a oh crap moment, like what's actually happening. And here he comes with a Maganel, something he should probably delete, and he does delete it, which is a wise move. And the worry now is, what if MBL mixes in some siege with this? He converts your siege workshop, and this should also be deleted by Blue pretty soon because it does take a long time, but still you don't want to donate that. And MBL, oh, MBL clicked away. All right, well, mistake there. I see elite skirm on the way, so he's thinking elite skirm. He's making elite skirmishers to counter his own crossbowmen. That's pretty funny. That is pretty funny. MBL's got 13 monks out here. Hey, by the way, they have 60 HP. The light cav have 60 HP. They've got 9 range. And suddenly, MBL's looking like he can actually do this one. Not to mention that since the buildings are here, if he's worried about it, he can just start to convert them away. Let's see. Again, moving forward with the monks. Getting conversions on the units. We get 2 more conversions here. What about the light cav? The light cav are moving in. Remember, the production's here for Blue as well. He's really going to need reinforcements. And now, MBL has light cav to counter the skirmishers. How ridiculous, right? It's like unfortunate for Blue. How funny it is that he had to make elite skirm to counter his own crossbowman. And then he made light cav, which MBL converted to counter his own skirmishers. This is just... It's ridiculous, and it's got to be stressful, and at least mentally, even though it's a rated game, it's got to be frustrating to be in Magical's position and falling behind now. Right? I mean, this point, you see the score. Score is a good indicator of the situation in the game. MBL definitely has a firm lead in this game. Having transferred over to all these stones and all these golds, he's got something else planned here. I think you guys probably saw in the title. Now, Zalata Warriors. Very unique thing in this game is that Aztecs can make Zalata Warriors a stable unit, but they can't make stables. So you have to convert the stable. And guess what? We're going to see some Zalata warriors in a second. Hold on. Am I using the... Let's use the enhanced graphics. Hello? Hello?
Okay.
Yeah, this is fine. Boom! Look at it. It's beautiful. Thank you, devs. Still don't have spec yet, but at least we can look at that chunky boy. And now MBL is going to come forward and not drop just one castle. Now, one castle is too little. And not two castles, because, let's be honest, two castles still pretty unimpressive. 3 castles on top of Blue's face. If this doesn't tell you that the top players, like the top 10, are leagues above of people in the top couple hundred, I don't know what will. And welcome back to the game, by the way, Blue. Welcome back to the game. I actually have to look at his profile to see how long he's been back. He could have been playing for a whole year as far as I know. I just recognize the name. All right. Well, MBL still got skirms out here, and these monks still 60 HP. See him going for conversions. Now, he's got Zalata warriors. Zalata warriors, they're the cost of a knight, and they're much weaker, right? Because you don't get cab upgrades, but it is something, and I have to say they look amazing. They look incredible, and so Blue now doing what he could do. Just go up to the Imperial Age, but castle's going up everywhere. I think the situation he's in is that MBL is going to make a 4th castle, and this is one of the most incredible games you'll ever see. Like, seriously, what is happening here feels like MBL should not be able... It feels like he's using cheat codes, honestly. Ridiculous. But, yeah, like, he's going to need so many Hussars or so many skirmishers to deal with this threat. Because we've seen time and time again how MBL is just going to get conversions and then use the force against Blue later on. Here's an example. He's desperate to kill the monks, but there's too many monks and they're healing each other. Power of God is real, and MBL has 5 forward castles and is also raiding with some light cav and Zalata warriors here. And now is buying stone to go for another castle, and this is where people in the video really should be forming a strong opinion on how they feel about this. I said earlier that going for the YOLO monks, even though it's common with Aztecs, but in that position, that it kind of gives Blue a chance. Now you've got people thinking like, wow, this is hilarious, this is crazy, how is MBL doing this? And then you probably have people thinking, I feel bad for Blue, this is too much. You know what I mean? And I can kind of understand either perspective. Did he just lose? No! He lost his Imp TC! That was his Imp TC! No! Well, now we can all agree we feel bad for Blue. Suddenly he's like, wait, I have a lot of resources. I can just win in Imp, and then he realizes that he's not on his way to Imp anymore. He'll realize eventually. Just dropping castles to protect himself from this. The MBL is surrounded the enemy with castles. We've seen monks, see castles, and we're not finished yet, ladies and gents. Still hasn't realized, right? Your instinct is to just keep your TCs running. This situation might be a little awkward. Okay, now he's on the way, but I don't know if MBL can get this one up. He does have the crossbowman that he converted earlier. He's going to bring the monks over. That's a little risky with all the light cav out there, even with MBL's good micro. Okay, now you start to see some quick walls to keep the monks out of the pond. And here come the light cav. And let's see if MBL can keep these monks alive here. He's got quite a few in there. The first time in a while, I think MBL is going to end up losing that mass of monks. But that means that his castle is going to go up on the other side. It's not like Blue doesn't have the resources. We're even seeing the Jaguar warriors mixed in by MBL. Oh, the monks are still just hanging out there. It's not like Blue doesn't have the resources. Just at this point, he doesn't really have space. And now we see it, ladies and gents. Now you see MBL massing the unit that you see so rarely in this game. And that's the Petard. Now, Petard is normally used in situations where you want to bust through a wall. Occasionally, if 2 castles are really close to one another, you see them used to take out castles. I think you need 8 of them to take out a castle. But MBL, realizing that he has full control here. I mean, he's booming behind this. Look at this economy. This is ridiculous, right? He's even going to farm forward right now. Yeah, he knows he has full control over the game. So he's going to try and win the game with a crazy petard rush. Now, this is Blue's point of view. He's about to be an imp. He's got castles surrounding him everywhere. In fact, I'll just remove... Look at this! Maybe you can see those petards, I'm not sure. But he still feels like with the light cav, he might just have a chance with some trebs. I mean, of course, probably feels flexed on a little bit. Maybe just wants to see if he could play it out because the enemy is invested so much. I mean, he's clearly buying that stone for the castles. There's a point where MBL should, in theory, run out of resources. 14 military versus 37. Treb's now on the way for blue. Plenty of wood, plenty of gold, and pretty soon we could possibly see MBL losing some castles. This is a little interesting. Blue's actually going to send his villagers here to attack this. Now, you could actually get sappers, and that would help out. Yeah, MBL's massing these petards, and the thing about petards is that it looks like he made these really quickly, which he did, but it's because he has so many castles. It's not cheap, and it takes a long time to create them. Look at that. Look how slow that is. For a unit that can so easily die to castle fire. But here, MBL's like, well, shoot, that's one of my petard castles, so now he's making a few jags. Still in Castle H, mind you. MBL's still in Castle H. And he's definitely going to lose his castle, right? He's trying to defend against the light cav. I guess Blue just wanted to take this gold sooner rather than later. The villagers are like, let me work, damn it. But guys, this is the moment. This is the moment you came to the video for. Watch this. Blue's point of view. He's like, we're doing it. We're doing it. We're actually coming back. We can trap down all these castles. Oh my goodness. And even Capture Age can't handle it. And here we go. You need 8 petards for a castle. 1 castle down. The light cav are swarming. We'll see the trebs go down next. Trebs taken care of. Castles will stay up. We'll see the mill go down next. And then the castle will fall here as well. Now at this point, Blue's got a TC and some mills and some farms. And that's about it. Here MBL is coming in with monks. Sorry about the lag, by the way, on Capture Age. The high graphics have been giving me issues for some reason. I'll get that sorted for the main event of Hidden Cup. But what in God's name did we just witness? And now, of course, the TC. And the game ends. Blue did call the GG. MBL did as well. That's not stored in the recorded game. It was just insane what this game had. Like, MBL made it look so easy. In 1900, his top couple hundred in the world, and MBL is the top 10 player, just said, hi. I mean, granted, I think Aztecs are still one of the best 1v1 civilizations, but going monks against crossbowmen shouldn't be a thing. Dropping 7 castles forward shouldn't be a thing. Zalazzo warriors and petards shouldn't be a thing. MBL made it a thing. What an insane game. You know, this is something that I think viewers out there probably love so much because we all have been on one side of this. We've either been the person in the friend group or the family that's the better player, and you play against your brother or sister or your friends who suck, and you just like kind of troll them with crazy things that normally wouldn't be possible competitively. Or we've been on the receiving end of it. Like my older brother, for example, is way better than me. But I mean, you just don't see this competitively too much, and it happened here. Oh, this is funny. It almost looks like the this villager is upstairs in that little room. Who's he waiting for? Oh, you naughty. Okay. Anyways, so that's a different type of game. We're not going to go there. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Give me your thoughts in the comments because this is one of the more unique uploads that I've had. Seeing as I've been making content for 6 years now, that's pretty telling. And we're going to go into the statistics here. I'm really curious just what the resources looked like. You know, the fights in and of themselves, pretty difficult. The conversions I explained, not too easy. But the economy behind it is also impressive, and MBL had to do all of that to afford it. So much stone and gold in particular there. I did have the map scouted, of course, to find other resources, and you can see on the timeline. I mean, I wish the timeline showed more detail, as like when the buildings went down with the petards and whatnot, but you can see MBL had petards, and then he didn't, and that was the game-winning move. So yes, like I said, please give me your thoughts on this. And just a reminder, YouTube, if you'd like to stop by, MBL will be one of the 16 players playing in the main event of Hidden Cup 4. The players will be playing with hidden identities. So they'll be playing on hero names. And over the course of 4 days, Thursday through Sunday, March 18th through the 21st, they're going to be competing for a massive prize pool in order to break records and in order to do some crazy things that we're going to try and achieve with this event. I am really going to have some people from YouTube show up. If you can make it, great. If not, it will be on YouTube in due time for you guys to enjoy that tournament. Whether it's with a sub on Twitch, whether it's with a comment on YouTube or a like, thank you guys for supporting this. I've been doing this for such a long time, and it's so cool to actually have people loving this game again. And I'll continue to work hard and continue to push out content for you all. Thanks again, and have a good one.